kick us off?
I do, if you don't mind, because I don't want to take much of your time because I know this is your first class. First of all, let me apologize for not being there Monday night for your town hall meeting. I usually participate in that. Dr. Stedman, Dr. Revis, thank you very much for covering that. All that information that they shared, if at any point you have any questions about anything about the MSA program at Garner Webb, please reach out to me and I will at some point put my Garner Web address over in the chat if you don't already have it. I do want to welcome you and thank you for choosing Garner Web. We know you had other choices, other options out there, but you chose the best. You're going to have some phenomenal instructors along the way. You're going to come to love Dr. Stedman, Dr. Revis. When you get Dr. Barnes and Dr. Neal, you're going to love all the instructors because Garner Web is very selective in who we choose to be. We want people who have practice. We want people who have the experience that you are hoping to get into within the next couple of semesters. Every one of the people that you experience in Garner Webb have been there. They know exactly what the path that you're going on, where it's going to lead. There will be a lot of information. Now, there will be occasions that you will have something that Dr. Stedman has never experienced, but they won't be many because your instructors have done this job and have done it well and have been able to progress through that. All of them have been hand selected because of their expertise and what they can add to the program. So you're in a very good place. I do encourage you. I know you're a combination of 12-month and 20-month. I know your instructors will explain the difference between this, but I just want to thank you for choosing Garner Webb. And if at any point you have any questions or anything about the program that your instructors or your coaches can't help you with, feel free to reach out to me or any of the other instructors that are here. Now, the second thing I want to do, other than to tell you, we are so thrilled you are here, and we look forward to marching across the stage with you at commencement and giving you that degree. I am also here as Dr. Anil is because we will be your CC1 or your clinical. You have two coaches this semester. Dr. Revis and Dr. Stedman will be your main coach, but you will also have two other coaches that will be reaching out to you very soon. Dr. Neal will be reaching out to Dr. Stedman's class, and I will be reaching out to Dr. Revis's class. And what our goal, we're your coaches, and you will kind of see us ever so often, but we will be the ones who will need to talk with your supervisor. And so very soon you'll be getting a form where we'll be asking you to tell us the name of your supervisor and to give us some times that we can meet with them on the phone for about 5 minutes. We need to explain to them what you have signed them into so they don't freak out, think that they have to attend classes or fill out forms or follow you along to make sure that that was 30 minutes that you spent on something. We need 5 minutes on the telephone with your supervisor. Dr. Neal will need it for Dr. Stedman's class. I will need it for Dr. Revis's class. 5 minutes with your supervisor. And then immediately following that, we're going to need to Zoom with you for 30 minutes to talk about some of the program formats, some of the other things that you are going to experience on this either 3 semester or 5 semester program. So I'm going to send you, and Dr. Neal will send you one probably today or tonight or tomorrow, but we're going to send you I'll put a form in your Blackboard shell. It's already there. It's right up there at the very top in Dr. Revis's class, right under University Resources. If you see that, Dr. Neal will send hers out. We can talk when we finish, Dr. Neal. She'll send hers out. But what we're asking for is a time that we can talk to your principal and you. We have to do this within the first 2 weeks of class. And we're trying to make those contacts. So look for that. Dr. Revis's class. I have already opened it up in your Blackboard shell, your 601 shell. If you look at that, there's a form there. It's going to be a first come, first serve, but please fill that out and send it back to me so I can make those contacts. Dr. She and I'll talk, and hers will probably go out tonight and give you some options as well. So we are a part of the support around you at Garner Webb. We want to make sure you're successful. I can assure you, Dr. Revis and Dr. Stedman are going to really make you very successful. That is their main primary goal is to make sure you make it through here and you do extremely well. So they're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Just in case there's ever something else that you need to talk to, you've got Dr. Neal if you're in Dr. Stedman's class, and you have me if you're in Dr. Revis's class. We are your coaches. Anytime, but right now we need to arrange that. That's our primary focus now is to arrange that time where we can meet with your principal on the phone for 5 minutes and a Zoom session with you for 30. look for an email from me or a link and start shooting those back to me. Dr. Neal will do the same. The other thing is that, and I'm not going to take much more time, Danny, but as you go through this
Okay.
program, Dr. Neal will follow you all 3 or 5 semesters, 3 semesters. She's going to be your coach, your CC1 coach all the way, and I'm going to be that way for Dr. Revis's class. So at any point, when you get in the next class and you have a new supervisor, your supervisor changes, we need to know that. You need to reach out to Dr. Neal and say, hey, got a new supervisor. Do you mind calling them and have a 5 minute conversation? We won't have to have the 30 minute anymore, but Dr. Neal will have to reach out to that new supervisor to explain to them what their obligations are with this program. And I can assure you, if they're freaking out, it is minimal. It is really, really minimal, but we need to talk to them. So if you're in Dr. Stedman's class, just remember Dr. Neal's face and name, and she is going to be with you for the rest of the program. I will be with Dr. Revis's class. All right. So look for a form, Dr. Revis, Dr. Neal's class, Dr. Stedman's class. Look for a form a little bit later on, and reach out to us if you ever need us. Dr. Neal, I know you may want to say something real quick, and then Danny, Dr. Stedman, we're going to get out of your hair.
So, well, I wish I had hair for you to get out of.
I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to
Yeah,
say that.
see?
And I'm Dr. Neal, and I look forward to getting to know the folks in Dr. Stedman's class and working with you and getting those first meetings underway.
And Dr. Stonewall, I have you. Did you got my message about Ray Vonda being in the wrong coaching class?
Yes, and I think we have fixed that, I believe.
Okay, Ravonda, check and see if you're in the right class, and I'll check too and let me know. Also, we have a 603 student that is her. She cannot access Blackboard at all. That was Jennifer.
Adcock.
Also, you got
Adcock.
that?
Yeah, and I have sent that. I did a work order with the
Okay.
tech people, so they're working
Okay.
on that.
Okay.
And
Good.
Dr. Revis, I'll be sending you something later on tonight that you requested.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Neal, I will call you, or you can call me right after, and I can share with you what I'm doing. You guys, thank you for choosing Garner Webb. You're going to have an exciting adventure. This is going to be fun, and I cannot wait to be up on the stage and to put the hood around your neck and call you a colleague and give you that master's degree. You're in a great place.
Well, I already see some future doctoral students
I
in this
do too.
class.
I
So,
almost said doctoral candidates, but there are some here. Thank you, Dr.
yes.
Stedman.
Yeah.
I'm going to zoom out.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Stone, Dr. Neal.
Dr. Stedman, we usually don't do this, but I have a few people I'm trying to check on, being the first class. So on your little picture that's showing up, some of you only have a first name, and so I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody.
All right.
Is Elizabeth Banks here?
Elizabeth just joined us.
Okay,
I'm here. I'm sorry. I was on my computer, but it won't let me turn my camera on. It's saying it's using another app. So I had to switch from my computer
okay,
to my phone. I'm sorry.
Okay.
great.
Okay. We can see you now, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Whitney
And there's
Gray,
one by Tasha. Tasha.
Hello, I'm here.
Hey, Tasha. I see you now, Tasha. Tasha Beasley. Okay.
Mhm.
It said only Tasha before, so thank you.
Whitney
welcome.
Graves, are you here? Jared Hart,
That's me. It's under my wife's account, the Zoom.
okay.
Yeah.
I will have to remember that you are under Catherine.
Yep, thank you.
Okay.
If you
I
can
need to
change that, that would be great. If not, you may have to remind me a few times.
No problem.
And
I'll look into it.
okay, all right.
Okay.
And I
I'm,
think
Dr. Evans, I'm still looking for Amy Medina, Mitchell Jenkins, and Natalie Cook. They still are not with us. Okay.
Christine Patterson. Okay, guys, we won't do this every week, but we will the first couple of weeks. Just we got to do role verification. So thank you. All
And
right, Dr. Stedman.
Let's let Dr. Barnes introduce herself since she's going to be joining us.
Okay.
And Dr. Barnes.
Hello, students. How are you? So I am currently, I'm also an adjunct professor at Gardner Webb, but I currently work full-time as well in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. And I am the executive director for student discipline and behavior support. So as you're going through this process, if you want hours or if you want the experience of going and meeting with the board, because we do reassignment appeals, you're welcome to reach out to me, and I'll put my email address in the chat. And you're welcome to shadow me as I go before the board, so you can get the experience of how you deal with board members and the politics of it all. All right. So that's my offer to your class. And I won't be talking very much at all. I'm just going to be listening.
Barnes, are your meetings live streamed?
They are, no, we only allow board members to live stream.
Okay.
We actually
Okay.
go
Gotcha.
face to
Okay.
face.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So
All
if
right.
you're in that area, then reach out to Dr. Barnes.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Dr. Stedman usually does this, but he is having technical difficulties, so I'm going to do it if I can and have enough sense to do it. And that's my email right there. Let me go down here and find the agenda. Did everybody find the agenda in your Blackboard shell? Thumbs up for yes or no? Everybody got it? Dr. Stedman, are you seeing that?
Can't see the whole group, but
Okay.
it looks like I think yes, we've got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thumbs are coming up. Yes.
All right, good. Okay, so Dr. Stedman and I each have a class assigned to us, and you're on one of our rosters, and we're your main instructor. But we put the classes together to team teach, and we've done that for several years. We work well with each other, and we've worked enough together that we almost finish each other's sentences. And sometimes we play good cop, bad cop. He's always the bad cop. I'm always the good cop. So just remember that.
Blame for everything.
And and he usually is running the show mostly, but he doesn't have internet access today. Typically, so we're going to go ahead and you've got a clinical coach one. They've been introduced to you, and if you're assigned to Dr. Revis, Dr. Stedman will be your clinical coach too. And that won't mean much to you right now. Don't worry about it. And if you're assigned to Dr. Stedman as an instructor, then I will be your clinical coach too, and we'll go on to that as well. But we both work like, we take part in the class, doing the instruction. And, if you need some clarification, if you're in my class, you will email me. In Dr. Stedman class, you'll email him. And as far as the instruction in the class is concerned. So the first thing I'm going to do is go down on our agenda and let's go over our class norms. Again, we've been doing this a long time, and I, for one, am very antiquated. So I am going to say that when you're online with us, you need to have your camera on. I need to see a face, and I love to see your names there as well. If there's some reason, for example, if you've got a sick child you're having to tend to, or you're driving home from a PTO meeting and can't put your camera on, just email us ahead of time. We ask that you always remain muted unless one of us recognizes you to speak. And we ask that you be present for the entirety of the online session. I had a candidate email me earlier today, and this candidate was under the impression that she did not have to attend the online session. And that's true. You don't. But I'll tell you this. I doubt you're going to be very successful if you don't. We do record these sessions. We will post the recordings. Good Lord willing that everything transcribes correctly. Sometimes we have glitches, and there's nothing you can do. So you need to always try to be present for the entire session. And we always try to give you opportunities at the end. If you understand everything we went over tonight, you log off early, and then we'll be here as long as you need to be here to answer any questions. So we really don't like to take questions as we move through the class, because sometimes we'll answer those questions. We don't want you using the chat box. You know why? number one, it's distracting to me. And number two, if you're reading the chat box, you're not listening to us. And we're being very selfish. We want you to listen to us. Make sure that, you come to class and that you don't have a bunch of distractions going on. I love children. I love grandchildren. I love all children. But if they're running around in the background, I'm going to be watching what your kids are doing, and I'm not going to be paying attention. So we ask that you come just to class and be in a location that will enable you to participate fully and listen fully, and that's not distracting for others. Of course, be appropriately dressed for class. I would not think that anybody's going to come in a bathing suit. Now, pajama bottoms, if I don't see it, I don't know it. And sometimes I may wear mine. But we want to present ourselves as professionals when we're online. Always use respectful language and tone. We will always do that with you, and we ask that you do that with each other and with us. We ask that you maintain strict confidentiality for things that are shared in class by other class members. Now, anything that I say, I better be sure that I'm okay with that because I'm being recorded. But, you just need to remember you're being recorded, and we have to maintain confidentiality and uphold that. We ask that you be fully engaged and don't be checking your email. That's why we don't want you to put it in the chat box. We want you to be fully engaged. And again, I think that's it. No chat box. We'll be here until the last question's answered. And if you have it, you're good to go. We always ask you this, that when we post the video, we try to post it the later this evening. Sometimes it's the next morning if I'm very tired. But we will be posted within 8 to 10 hours of your class session. And we ask that if you've got a question about what was that you said in class, that before you email us or call us, that you go back and look at that video. Now we're going to establish some team groups later on, not right now, but later on you're going to be in team groups, and that's a good cohort for you, a collaborative group for you to ask each other questions for clarification. We will always try to answer your questions, but just like you get frustrated if some of your students ask you a question that you went over very clearly. So you've got the video. Not that we're frustrated, but I enjoy teaching this class, and the reason I love 601 is because I see you so much growth in you as a leader, and that's what we're here about, is leadership. So, Dr. Steppen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, if you would, can you bring up our course shell, Dr. Revis?
Yes, I can.
And I'm not going to, I hope all of you have already gone through all of this already, but we needed to highlight a few things and just point them out. Again, you'll see if you'll look at the top, go back up to the top. This is where Dr. Stone very often will put information just like this, the CC1 contact information. Always look at the top, and that may be something new each week if Dr. Stone or Dr. Neal need to provide some information for you. So I'll always look at the top and click on that and see if it will apply to you if it's there. If you'll come on down, we've welcomed you to the class. Dr. Revis has welcomed you to hers. I've welcomed you to mine. That's just some information about us. Your recurring link, the same link all semester is identified there. Plus, if you go to your calendar, you can go to today's date, and you'll see that the recurring link is there with the passcode. Or if you hit month, for the month of January, we'll scroll on down. That will show you, we had already the 12th when we had our town hall, it was there. The meeting was there. The recurring link, when you click on that, it will open up and it will show you the recurring link on there. And all you've got to click on that and you can join the class. But Again, come on back down the month, Dr. Evans, and you will also see on the 18th. This is when your first assignments are due by 6 o'clock. Your assignments will always be due on the Sunday evening by 6 o'clock. Now, it's programmed in the system. If anything is submitted after 6 o'clock, it's going to automatically put a 0 in there for you. Now, that makes it difficult for Dr. Revis and me because we have to go in and we have to do some things manually to correct that. So please make every effort to get your work submitted, on schedule so we don't have to deal with those kinds of things. If it is an assignment and it comes in late, um, a major assignment, then, we'll talk about that. You're going to lose points for it not being in a timely manner. So please don't let that happen to you. But if you'll go down to the 18th again, Dr. Revis, scroll down to January the 18th. These are your 3 assignments that you have to have in there already, and many of you have already done this. If you click on About Myself, that takes you directly to the assignment. You can complete your assignment. Well, it should have opened up, Dr. Revis. I don't know what happened, but there it goes. It'll open up on the 18th, and when you click on that, you can complete your assignment right there. Post it or put it in gradebook. Come out of that. You can go right back to that same calendar, and your next assignment is there, the academic integrity attestation. Very simple things for the first week that you need to go ahead and get done. And like I said, most of you have already done that, but your calendar will guide you through every one of your assignments. That's just one place to look at everything, with one view. You go to February, it shows you our meetings and all assignments for the month of February, all the way through the end of the semester. So your calendar is aligned with our weekly meetings on Wednesday, and it's aligned with all assignments. Okay, Dr. Revis, if you'll go back to our content. Your town hall recording is in there. We will always place those recordings back in your Blackboard shell, anything that we do, so that you'll have reference to it if you need to. We talked about Monday evening. We talked about the Bulldog bundle opt-out. Again, I encourage you, do not order your books from there or your book from there. Order it from Amazon or some other place, and you need to go in there and opt out so that Gardner Webb doesn't charge you for anything. Okay, and just follow the process. This is just getting started in your course, and it tells you some things about, the 601 class. I would, again, this is where you meet your instructor. You will have Zoom and peer groups later on. Your syllabus is in here. In that, the class norms are listed there. Your syllabus, the policies for and then week by week modules. Just like our module 1 is going to be week 1. And when you open that up, January the 14th, it tells you what you've got to do to be successful in this program, or in the program for this week. It has your module learning objectives. It's going to tell you again what to do. And again, you're going to see your assignments here. Everything that's going to be due dates are there. Readings that you have to complete are going to be in there on a weekly basis. And it's going to have when your assignments are due. Come back out of that. And there's 15 of those modules for the 15 weeks in this program. If you go beyond the modules, Then there's the assignments again. All the assignments that you saw listed in the calendar are also listed individually here. You can go into Blackboard and you can click them here for each of your assignments as well. I want you to note after assignment one, and we'll go over that tonight, assignment one, and when that is due, notice that underneath that it says assignment one, Turnitin. Do not touch assignment one, Turnitin, or Turnitin ever until Dr. Revis, if you're in her class, has told you everything's cleared for assignment one and you can go ahead and put it in, turn it in. And I tell my class the same thing. Do not touch it. You only get one opportunity to put your work in to turn it in. And if you go in and mess with it, then it's going to mess up that opportunity, for you to be able to do turn it in. What is turn it in, Dr. Revis? Can't hear you. Dr. Revis can't hear you. Dr. Revis can't hear you. She's still talking. Uh, turn it in is it actually it tests the integrity of your work. Is your work authentic? Have you borrowed work that you shouldn't have borrowed from a source and not cited it properly? It will also let us know if you have ventured into AI. It will give us an AI report. So all of that is going to it's going to tell on you if you don't do what you're supposed to do and you do authentic work. And then if that happens, then Dr. Revis and I have to have personal conversations with you. So I'm asking you from the beginning, do not let this happen to you. Make sure your work is authentic work. If you have a question about something, then you need to ask us up front, okay?
And may I say a few things? Sorry, I couldn't
Sure,
get my
sure.
thing to come in. A lot of people are getting caught on AI. Guys, if you have Grammarly activated and you're using Grammarly extensively, it's going to flag in AI. If you are using Microsoft Copilot, I didn't even know that was on my computer, and it is, if Microsoft Office Suite is. And you use those Copilot words, it's going to flag it. So just be careful. Of course, you can use Grammarly to check for editing, but as we said last night or Monday night, all of your work needs to be done in Microsoft Office Suite, Microsoft Word. Word already has a spell check. It won't flag that. But I would just make sure all that stuff was turned off because you don't have to redo that stuff. Now, I will say this, we put the assignment one turn it in due date the same as assignment one. Don't wig out over that. We will tell you, we get you feedback pretty quickly. Dr. Stedman is awesome. He will turn around that feedback before he goes to bed on Sunday night. I'm not as quick. I may not get it back to you until Monday morning sometime. But so don't let that bother you right here that you may get a flag or something. You can go in and turn it in and only should do that after we say you're ready. Okay?
And then these are your other assignments. Notice that assignment two, turn it in. Assignment three, um, assignment four, come on down. Assignment five and turn it in. Assignment six and turn it in. So there are 6 major assignments that will also go into turn it in. And we'll talk about those. We're only going to introduce you to assignment one tonight. And then later on, you will be assigned teams to work with, peer review teams. And then we will go over the review process later on when that's necessary. But this is where you will put your peer review assignments as well. And all of these are graded major assignments, but we'll go over that process with you later on. But these are your assignments for grade this semester. Okay. Dr. Revis, would you go over the grading policy?
Okay, as Dr. Simmons said, you have 6 major assignments plus those peer reviews, and we're pretty strict on this late work policy, okay? And because if you don't get it submitted by 6 o'clock on that Sunday evening when it's due, it's going to flag it. And we know when it's not due, and we start taking points off at 6:01 p.m. So get it ready, have it done. There's some more
Revis,
information.
also, when you do your peer reviews, if you fail to do your work in a timely manner, then you are impacting the work of your team members.
Mhm.
So you have to work collaboratively with your team and get your things in. So that's all part of the working process in this program.
We
Okay.
take 5 points off each additional day, and you don't recover those points. You've lost them if you don't get it in on time. Don't turn in incomplete work. If it's incomplete, we're sending it back. It didn't even count. So, I know that sounds harsh, but we're training you to be an administrator. What do you think happens when a principal doesn't get a report into his superintendent on time? He's probably going to get called. Probably going to get a telephone call from that superintendent. So we're teaching you to prioritize your time, to have some great time management skills, and that a deadline is a deadline is a deadline. Okay? It just is what it is.
Hmm.
So make
Revis, while you're coming down to the letter grade and points assignment, let me tell you a practice that, and it doesn't always work, but let me tell you a practice I have always used. As an administrator, I used it as a classroom teacher when I taught school. Um, but I have a deadline. I have a deadline date. I never put on the calendar, on my calendar, my work calendar. I never put the actual date something's due. I always give me a grace period, and I put it down days ahead of time. And my mind doesn't even go to when the actual due date is. It focuses on that date. That has helped me very successfully over the years with time management and to make sure that I don't get in trouble. Because guess what? If you wait until Friday and it's due Friday, anything could happen on Friday,
your internet could go out.
just like it did with me today. So, with reports and with things, this is a good way to begin practicing those good administrative skills so that you don't get caught on the carpet with things.
Now, if you're asking yourselves about how much time should I expect to spend in this class, just the classwork alone, how much time per week do you think you need to carve out, Dr. Stedman? Would you carve out with the assignments?
Would not count their internship hours,
Right.
not counting the internship hours. Um, I would say, Dr. Revis, to space your time out, and I would say a good 10 to 15 hours a week with their work should be carved out because it's a writing and research based intensive program. So you need to figure out, when is my best learning time and carve that time out of your already busy schedule. Um, and I know some people say, well, I do better when at the last minute, but last minute can get you in trouble. So again, you've got to figure that out. But I would say, based on how quickly and how efficient you are with research, um, I would say easily 10 to 15 hours a week for for your for your work in the program.
Now, let's say you coach, you're a high school uh, basketball coach. Well, I guarantee you that you're doing everything you can do during the week to keep your head above water. And if you can't work on it during the week, then
Right,
you know what? That 10 to 15 hours has got to come on the weekends.
right,
You may be a week, and you may be a weekend warrior. That's when you want to work. I don't know. I never did
right,
like to do that. I
right.
always like to do a couple hours every night and, you know, spend more time on the weekends. Maybe Sunday night's always my night that I was ready to go. I mean, I was putting it out. You can't wait till Sunday night because you got work due at 6 p.m. on many Sunday nights. Not every Sunday night, but on many Sunday nights, that's going to be taken up with your work. But it
And
was right
those
on
of
point,
you,
sister.
Dr. Evis, those of you that if you have a significant other in the home, if you have children, and the children are of age to understand, you need to have a sit down family talk with them if you haven't already, and just say, look, the next year for the 12 month, the next year and a half for the 15 month, this is what life is going to be like, and Daddy needs your help. Mama needs your help. You know, you know, to do to be able to be successful, because what you're doing this for yourself. But guess what? You're doing this for your family as well. It will make a difference for your family and the future of your family as well. So, it's okay to have those conversations with them and say, there's times that that if you're a daddy in the program, um, you may have to say, Mama's going to have to take you to this. Daddy's going to have to work and work on work. So, there may be times that you cannot, you'll work out time with your family, but just, be upfront and be honest with them, and they'll work with you.
Again, I will say this, had I never gone into administration, I would never have had the opportunities that I've had. And so I'm so excited for you because you're getting ready to turn to a new chapter in your life. So, Dr. Stedman, I want you to talk about putting on that administrator hat.
Okay. And I've got it with me. Okay. You see, now I'm a hat man. And I have to wear it because I don't have anything up there, and I get cold if I don't wear it. So I have become a hat man since I've lost my hair. But this is right now. I'm going to pretend that this is that many of you are in a teacher role or a coaching role, or whatever role you're in. You're at a place in your career that you want to do something differently. So this is my teacher hat, or whatever it is that you do have. Okay? So right now I want you to just in your mind, I want you to pretend that you've got that hat on, just like I do. Guess what I want you to do right now? Kimberly actually has her hat on. I want you right now to pretend that you're taking off. Now, you can't forget that you're a teacher. You can't forget that role. That's going to be important for the rest of your career. And we value, but you've got to quit thinking everything like a teacher from this point on. Dr. Revis and I are going to treat you like principals. We're going to talk to you like principals. We're not going to talk to you like teachers anymore. We will talk about teaching, but we're going to talk about your role from this point on as an administrator. So you take that hat off, and I got me a bright burgundy red one. And guess what? You put that principal hat on. You got to start thinking like a principal. You got to start thinking like an administrator. Now, I'm looking at Kamisha right now. Kamisha might be working with a team of teachers, and Kamisha, you know how when as teachers we don't like everything that's going on, we get in our group and we say, I can't understand why in the world that principal's doing what she's doing or what he's doing, or that assistant principal, whatever, whatever. I promise you this, and you're going to hear me say I promise a lot, and Dr. Revis say I promise a lot. I promise you. You get through the next 3 or 4 weeks, you are automatically, it will happen. Danielle, it's going to happen. You're going to begin saying, you're going to hear somebody, and you're going to say, after doing the work that you do and getting engaged, you're going to say, I understand better why my principal does what they do, or I better understand why they said what they do. And you're not going to alienate yourself from the teachers, but you will often back off because you see things differently. And guess what? That's supposed to happen. You're supposed to see things differently. And then you will figure out in a positive way how to begin collaborating with them and helping them better understand the role of an administrator as well. So, guess what? Now, you may be in a teaching role, and that's your job, that's what you get paid. But in this program, you're now principals, and we're going to treat you like principals. And that's the language that we're going to use from this point on. So when I look at Tasha Beasley, I am looking at Principal Tasha Beasley. Sounds good, doesn't it, Tasha? You like that title, don't you? Jahara, I'm going to say Principal Jahara Pryor. Sounds good, doesn't it? So that's the role that we're going to take from now on. I'm going to take this red hat off because it don't match my outfit and put my black hat back on. But anyway, I think you get the idea. You got it? Principles. Dr. Revis?
Okay, so I think next on our agenda is you want to do the APA 7th edition
Yes,
first?
ma'am. And they can, and again, you go through your Blackboard, you look at all of this. You have a question about something, then you ask us. You need to look at that student handbook. You need to read the netiquette policy. All of that, that is completely for you to do. And I would go ahead and take care of all of that, up front and get that over with. But yes, Dr. Revis, I would go ahead and talk about the APA requirements.
Okay. If I can find the link. Is it under our agenda? Is it
Uh,
on our agenda?
I think so.
Let me go. I've got the agenda here. Hold on.
No, we've just got APA 7th edition.
No, I don't have it there. Okay.
You know what, Dr. Revis? For time's sake,
Let me do,
let's just talk about they're going to begin working this week, but let's focus heavily on APA next week.
okay.
And just know that you are going to be responsible for doing your work with APA 7th edition. You don't need the book, as we said. Dr. Revis is we'll dive into the Dover Library and show you how you can use the Dover Library for your research and then the basics that you need, the basic things that you're going to need to be successful with APA for this course, the writing part of this course. Uh, we'll be prepared to deliver that to you next week.
So I'm going to look at assignment 1. Okay. And as you looked on our calendar, assignment 1 is not due for 3 weeks. But I want you to go ahead and get started on it. Now, Dr. Stedman, I could not find where we had put assignment 1 in our content shell. So I've just got a Zoom link and I posted it in my with my in my course shell. But I want you to go ahead and get started on this. Now, the assignments that we're doing in class are providing background information that you're going to need in order to do that North Carolina Principals Portfolio. All right? So it's not just that we're doing arbitrary assignments. We're trying to build background information, build technical skills for you in order for you to do that work. So the first thing you have to do is you have to do a data dive in your school. Now, if you're already a school administrator, an assistant principal, or if you are an instructional coach or an MTSS coordinator, you probably know how to do a data dive. You've probably done that many times. But we're all going to do data dives. And we are all, regardless If you are a school counselor, you're probably not real comfortable doing a data dive on EOC's end of course or end of grade state assessments. And that's what it's about. If you're a principal, bottom line is you live and die by those test scores. You may not like it. If you don't like that, then you're in the wrong business. I'm sorry. You just are. Because that's what we live and die. That's how our school is graded. That's what the public is publicly reported. So you've got to pay attention to your state test scores and assessments. It's not that that's our goal. Our goal really is that children grow and get to grade level, because if they don't, they're going to struggle when they get to high school and maybe not even finish high school. So we are focusing on academic information, your South Carolina and North Carolina state assessments. You've got to collect 3 to 5 years of data. Where can you find that data? Well, I think both in North and South Carolina, the easiest way to find it is your school report cards. I think they're very comprehensive. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to collect that data, and then we're going to do a data analysis in order to identify an academic priority area. Where do we have an area of need that we need to grow our students, and a target student group? And those are the federally funded, federally identified, groups of students. Your students with disabilities, your second language learners, could be your gifted students. It could be economically disadvantaged students. It could be different races or ethnic groups. However your data is disaggregated, and if your state data doesn't disaggregate it by those federally identified groups, you've got a problem. Now, I know you have to have a certain number in your school population in order for a group to be identified on your state assessments, but everybody should have some groups that are identified from which you can look and pull state assessment data. So this is your rubric. These are your directions. Then you have a rubric. This is how Dr. Stedman and I will assess you. And on every assignment, there is always writing and format. You've got to have a paper free of grammatical errors and punctuation, spelling, and all that. You have to have a well-organized, logically arranged presentation of your ideas. And you have to learn APA. And so this week, we're going to skip that, because all I want you to do this week is find the darn data. That's it. Okay? Then you will always have a helpful hints. This is an example of the assignment 1 that you can follow. The first thing you would do is an introduction. You can go ahead and look at this. But in the introduction, you have to provide a context for us and for your portfolio assessment evaluators. We got to have a context of your school. We need to know, is it elementary, middle, or high? What's your ethnic and racial background, demographics of your student population? We need to know about your teachers. We need to know about the effectiveness of your teachers in advanced degrees. That helps us set the tone. Then we need to know narratively, okay, so what kind of grades historically have you been looking at? We're going to go back to the 2023 school year. Again, all this is off your report cards. And then talk a little bit about your vision, because you'll use that in your work. Then you get into your student performance data collection. I would like for all of you to get this introduction written this week. And I would like for all of you to find out where you can pull your data. You've got to be able to pull school data, and historical data from 3 to 5 years. You talk about it narratively, and this is not a full thing, continue to describe the data collection strategies or people with whom you consulted. I'm not going to read this, you've got it. Here's a figure. Students' school performance grades, and this example does not have 2025 in. I know you have 2025 information now. We want you to go from 22 to 25. It says 3 to 5 years. Let's go from 22 to 25.
Dr.
And
Revis, and they'll learn everything for this program will be considered figures. You don't have charts or graphs
yeah.
or whatever. Everything is identified as figures for this program.
Yeah, and I know, Dr. Greer, I know you're in the class and you're saying, oh my gosh, that's not right. We know it's not right, but we're not going to make a big deal out of it APA wise. And I would you could put the figures in the body of your text, but I think you also need to put them in an appendices. And then once you present your figure, you tell what it is, and then you tell what you gleaned or learned or what you want the reader to learn from that figure that you presented. So when you have a figure, you use the sandwich method. You introduce it, tell it where it came from, you put the figure in, and then you tell a little bit about what you want the reader to glean or how you analyze this a little bit. There's your growth data. Again, 2025 needs to be entered in, and a little bit about it. Then first look at your overall school data comparing different EOC courses. This example came from a high school and a North Carolina high school. So first, GLP stands for grade level proficiency and college and career ready in North Carolina. So we're looking at school data, again, from your school report card, overall district data, and state data. You want to get this for 3 years, 22, 23, 24, 25. Then do a little analysis. Then you want to look at performance of student groups. We don't call them subgroups. We try to refrain from that. But then I take each end of course area and I would look at 2025 first and then go to 2024, 23, 22. That can get rather daunting, but you've got to break it down and show. And then you would take your next end of course test. So once you do all that, and you're talking about it underneath each figure, what you want to synthesize, for example, you would say, perhaps, in biology, for the last 3 years, our student performance has increased consistently every year. Or in the last 2 years, our Math 1, North Carolina Math 1 or Algebra 1 in South Carolina scores have decreased, has steadily declined. But you've got to describe an academic area of need. That's where you're going to focus. And it has to be data driven. Your data has to show why.
Revis, may I say something?
Of course.
Many of you working in the schools, you may have preconceived ideas, and you may already say off the top of your head, "Well, I know that this is the biggest academic need in the school," or "I know that this is the biggest group that or the group that performs least on the test." That may be true, but let the data show you. You've got to pull all this. You've got to because you'll be surprised sometimes what you think is really not what it is. And your principal
Yeah.
may even say that, but if they have not done what we're requiring you to do, then you often are misled. Many are surprised when they see the end result of this.
So let's look at this figure here. And of course, I would have the GLP and the CCR percentages over here for 2025, but just take a minute and look across historically. Okay. At the onset of just looking at this, um, Melanie, what kind of inference can you make from this data? I'm picking on you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you, but it's very faint.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, now we can.
Ken,
Okay, good. I am a primary school instructional coach, so this is like the opposite of of anything that we do, but certainly you can notice that there's a dip in 2024 pretty significantly. They go up in 23, at least the school, but there's a dip in 2024, but it looks like there's a dip at the district and state. Well, not a little bit of a dip, but not as significant.
Yeah. And this is school historical performance data. So I would just go across, everything looks like it's increasing nicely. Not, I mean, that's not a huge significant increase there. But it is for CCR. That's really what you want to look at. But boy, I had a dip right here in biology. Now, depending on what happens in 2025, I'm thinking biology may be it. But then if you look down here, overall, if I just look at all my EOCs, and of course, if you are in elementary school, you're going to be comparing uh, reading EOG scores in different grade levels and across cohorts. Um, you may say, well, overall, we have the fewest students meeting college and career readiness in NC Math 1. You may want to go that route, and you could justify it because that's the lowest percentage over all of my tested areas. However, that dip in biology might be a little concerning as well. Whatever you do, you got to justify it. Whatever area of academic area that you choose, you got to justify it with your data. You could pick either of those areas and be fine. You just got to, tell it and justify it. And then once you do that, you're going to look and analyze target student groups. I don't have an example there. I will try to put an example about what that might look like in this helpful hints document for you. But, you would just want to look at all the federally identified groups that are in your school. And again, you're looking historically. And most everybody is going to see it's your second language learners or multi-language learners or English language learners, whatever you call them in your district, and your students with disabilities. Those are the two groups that are going to show.
mhm.
Understandably so. Now, if you don't have a group of those students, you may have, that it may take care of itself. You may have to decide on which one you have so that you can get data on. But it's going to be one of those two groups, probably. And everybody is trying to find different instructional ways to meet the needs of those two groups of students. Pupils in poverty or students in poverty, they're always going to be underperforming as well. And that's just going to be the way it is because they don't have the resources and got a slower start in school. They didn't enter school on a level playing field. But anyway, that's kind of what it looks like.
Dr.
And
Evans,
we'll go over
Brook, Brooklyn asked the question, how many subject areas do they need to look at in their data dive?
all tested areas in your school. all state tested
Right.
areas. Do not, do not go into CTE. If you're a high school teacher and that's what you teach, I get it. You have CTE assessments and you have ACT assessments. You don't need to go there. You trust us when we say don't go there. You cannot finish the portfolio process if you're looking at ACT testing results and or if you're looking at a CTE assessment results. If you're
Right.
a principal, you've got to get comfortable with these data sets because again, that's what your school grade comes from. And we're
Again, remember your focus cannot be on behavior, discipline. Your focus cannot be on attendance.
right.
It must be an academically tested area.
Now, friends, we're going to go back over this again next week and again the following week. We'll really get into it next week, but we just wanted you to see a little bit. You need to try to write your introduction, put your school context, and when you need to try to find where you're going to pull your data from. If you don't know, start with your principal. A 21st century leader is going to know where you can pull this data. School report cards, it's all there. And you can copy and paste from school report cards. I don't care. It's just not going to be,
Right.
you're not going to get a good side by side analysis. You're going to have to make your own tables to show that analysis.
We're starting you off from the very beginning with the NCPPA, the assessment, and this will be what certifies you as a principal in North Carolina. And if you're in South Carolina will take North Carolina's certification and they will reciprocate it for you in South Carolina. But I think you understand from the very beginning. It goes back to what Covey said. Begin with the end in mind. You've got to start out with the student. It's all about the student. It's all about uh, academic success with the student. So we are beginning with the student. And I think you already see, those of you that have been in, or you're in education, you already see that this is actually the beginning of the you create on an annual basis your um, Dr. Revis, help me, your the plan for school improvement, the school improvement plan. Uh, this is the beginning process of that school improvement plan. And when you complete this program, you basically will have touched every aspect of it from beginning to the end. You will have the knowledge and the understanding of how to take a school from point A to point B and everything in, or point A to point Z with everything in between. That is what we're going to be doing over the next year and a half for all of you. So, with that in mind, Dr. Revis, you want to say anything else about the NCPPA? You're muted, Dr. Revis. Dr. Revis, you're still muted. Okay. I I don't. Let me. She's not going to look at the chat. But anyway, you've got your NCPPA. All that information is in your horse shell as well. You need to begin looking at that intensely, especially as it relates to this first assignment and the work that you've got to do. Look at task one. Task one is what you have to complete by the end of this semester. So go ahead and begin looking at task one. You can look and see how assignment one aligns itself with the work that you've got to do to complete task one in your with your with all of your NCPPA resources. Dr. Revis, you were muted.
I know, I'm sorry. I couldn't get back to it.
I could see your mouth moving, but I couldn't hear a word.
Yeah. Okay. So we will go more into NCPPA. Again, just trust us. You're going to be ready to, at the end of the semester, submit task one of the NCPPA. But we're building background knowledge right now. We're getting you accustomed to what a principal has to do on a daily basis. And these are exercises that you would have to do for your portfolio. So don't forget, if you've not done any of these 3 assignments here, you need to do those. Most of you've already done them. Get those done by tomorrow. Knock it out. And then you begin work on assignment 1. You need to do your introduction, your context for your school, and learn where your data is and start putting together your data tables. Okay?
And again, right. Find out those important people in your schools. Find out who they are and align yourself with them to get the information that you're going to need.
Now we went over, we're at 8:07, and you can log off right now if you've got it. We will, I hope I can transcribe this video and get it posted for you tonight. If not, first thing in the morning. But if you feel good about it, you can sign off.
Not yet, Dr. Evans.
Oh,
If you are, just a minute, if you are in the 15-month program, meaning that this is your first master's, please identify who you are now to Dr. Revis and me. I know we've got some. The 15, Melanie, are you one of those? Okay, Melanie Baldwin, okay. Let me find your name, Melanie. I know I've got it on here. I wrote them down. Melanie.
It's Bodine.
Melanie Bodine.
Yes.
You know, here it is. Okay. So you're the 15-month program. Now, it's not going to matter as far as the work we're doing now. That will be the same. Your internship will be differently. So we'll talk with you about that. Do we have any other 15-month program students at this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am Jason Petty.
Jason, you are as well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Jason, you are okay.
You're 15 or I think it's a 20-month program.
It's 20. Yes, yes, ma'am.
The 20-month program. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Yeah, it's not the 12. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Jason, you're in my
Thank
class,
you.
so
I knew that there were a couple. I thought there were maybe 2 or 3 more, but maybe they.
I'm in the 20-month program. Enos Mahmood.
Enos pronounce your first name. Enos. Okay. Thank you so much, Enos. You're
so
in
I
the
think they're
20
all in
months
my
as well.
class, Dr. Stedman.
Okay.
I'm
And maybe
glad you
that's
said
what they did.
something.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. But you guys, you don't have anything to worry about. The only thing it may, and we will work with you since this is your first graduate program. You know, if there's things that we move a little bit too quickly with you with, let us know. And even if we have to meet with you as a group to go over some things to help you with, Dr. Revis and I will do that, okay? So don't worry about it. And somebody had their hand up, had raised their hand.
So can they go now if they've got it?
Yes. If you've got everything, we'll see you next Wednesday at 7:00. In the meantime, if you have a question, you can reach out to us, and we'll be glad to help you.
Dr. Stedman, I did have a question.
Okay.
We go ahead and begin the work and looking up the data for, what are we looking at? Data for assignment 1, 22 to 25, those 3 years.
Yeah, you can go ahead if you want to get started on that. Yeah, you don't have to wait.
Can
But
we, are those hours, can we go ahead and put those hours on the internship log?
absolutely.
Okay.
When you are doing just about everything for these assignments, except for when you're actually writing them, the activities of data collection, data analysis, data disaggregation, yes, by all means, count those as your clinical hours. And we will just put them on a piece of paper right now. And next week, we'll go into your clinical work a little bit more.
But Danielle, what she was saying too was that when you actually go home and you sit down and actually do your homework, then that does not count as clinical hours. That's your assignment work. So, but anything that you do to get to that point can be as clinical hours. That's a good question, though. Does everybody feel? Do you feel good about what you need to do at this point? Everybody feel good?
I have a. Can you
Go
hear
ahead,
me?
Melanie. Yes.
I have a. I'm guessing it's pretty specific to me, so I wanted to let anybody else go first if they have questions. But um, if not, I work at a primary school, so we're just pre-K to 2. So when I go to pick the 2 to 3 courses, that might look a little bit different for me because we don't take a state test.
But you do
The
some
closest thing to a
assessments,
state
don't
test
you?
we take is the KRA, and
You do some assessments,
yes,
don't
so
you?
we do we do iReady and FastBridge. Is that fine? Even though,
Absolutely.
okay,
All of that,
I
all of
could
that
use our
counts.
partner schools data, like they. Okay, great.
Yeah, all of that,
I'm
all
kind
of
of in
that
the
counts.
same I'm kind of in the same situation as Melanie. So I actually work at a child development center. So we do have like some like testing that we do on our students, but I know for a fact that we do not get a school report card. So what should I do in that case?
Use the assessments that you have.
Okay.
Just
Right.
use historical data on the, you use the gold assessments they used to. I
Yes,
don't know.
ma'am.
Yeah.
And Taylor, what
Just
you
use
would
the
do
assessments you have.
in your
Okay.
narrative work, you would just
Yeah.
you would explain that. You would
Okay.
say that.
Mhm.
You know.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am.
I had a question too. I know that you said the actual hours that we spend gathering the research can be logged on the clinical hours. I think you said that you're going to go over this more in detail, but I just was looking at the log and I think I was freaking out. But I know that I have to be doing a lot of things that probably qualify throughout the day, but I just wasn't sure, and I don't want to jump the gun if you're going to go over that later.
We'll don't worry about that until next week. Okay.
Okay.
We'll begin focusing on that next week.
Okay.
But let me just say this, you can go ahead and start jotting things down. Now, if it's something that you do as a classroom teacher, that's not going to count. Okay? It has to be leadership in your school.
Mm-hmm.
But classroom teachers don't go and gather and analyze state testing data, do they? Typically not. It's given to you. So yeah, you can include that.
Right.
But
Okay.
we'll go over the clinical work in detail next week, okay?
Is everybody good? And everybody's going to be back with us next week, right? We're not going to lose anybody.
Now, if you decide I'm not going to do this, remember you've got a promise that you have to pick the phone up and you have to call one of us. We do not allow people to drop, okay?
We don't.
Without a conversation.
Right.
I mean,
You're
I can.
stuck with us. You're stuck with us now.
Brooklyn, did you have another question?
Yes, I do. It's just with the clinical hours as well. Um, are you saying that other than documenting what we do while we're collecting our data, um, we don't need to be working on those right now, or should we already be actively?
You could
I was
actually,
looking at that earlier today to see what we need to
yeah,
do.
you can start working on your clinical work now. Is that
Yeah.
what you're
Okay.
asking? You kind of went out a little bit on us.
Yeah, it's been that way the whole time.
Oh, I'm
Like,
sorry.
Hmm.
so first off, how much does our supervisor know? Do they know anything about our hours or?
No, your CC1 is going to, that would either be if you're in my class, Dr. Stone, or Dr. Neal in Dr. Stedman's class. They will have that conversation with your supervising clinical person at your school. I don't know that they know anything about it yet. I don't think
Okay,
any of those meetings have taken place. So we're
Okay,
just a
right.
check.
little bit early in talking about clinical work right now, okay?
Okay. Let me ask Jason a question. Jason, tell me what was changed.
It still looks like it's the internship class, but it was a different class number, and so like all the
Okay,
work.
but you're still with me, right?
Yes, sir. I believe so. Is
Okay,
that
well then
normal?
you're okay.
Okay.
Long as you're with me. Again, if you are in Dr. Revis's class as the teacher of record, you should be with me for your internship. And if you're in my class for the teacher of record, you should be with Dr. Revis for your internship.
And
So
remember, let me emphasize one more time. Remember, you've got to do a role evaluation in both your class and your clinical shell. You've got to do about me and your AI attestation. You got to do those three things in both shells. Okay.
shells. Yeah. Okay, Jody?
Yes, my question had to do with what she just mentioned about doing both of those assignments in both
Right.
shells. I was able to do it in Dr. Revis's class. That's the class I'm assigned to. But when I look in your class, I don't see it as an assignment. All I see is just the document.
Okay, the EVA is in there. Enrollment verification is in there.
I
Is in,
don't I don't know. I can't pull it up right this second, but
okay.
I don't think I saw any assignments that I could complete in
No,
my internship
no.
class.
You're not going to see EVA as an assignment in there. It's going to automatically be in there for you to complete enrollment verification, EVA.
Okay. All
But
right.
anything else would show up in our internship log is going to show up as a discussion.
Okay. So the all about like all of those assignments that you said I needed to do in both, the all about me and all that, just do it as a discussion.
You're going to put them in as a discussion. And
Okay.
Dr. Revis, they don't have to do the attestation in there, only
Okay,
the
good.
about me.
Good.
You only have to
Thank
do
you.
about me as a discussion, and that is so your classmates can learn about you. And so if you're with Dr. Revis, copy that same information that you gave Dr. Revis to me and vice versa. If you're with me, copy that same information and give it to Dr. Revis because she needs your phone number and she needs to know about you and how to reach out to you as well.
Okay. And
Okay.
then so I had already done that discussion post in yours and it doesn't let you edit it to add all that additional information.
Just do me another one then.
Okay, that's fine.
Just
And
give
then
me
my
another
last
one.
question is you said don't turn anything in to turn it in until you give the okay. How do we get that okay? I
We're
like to
gonna
work ahead. I just
we're gonna tell you in with your assignments when we grade your assignments. When you put that assignment one in for grade, when we clear you with that, we're going to say it's ready for turn in.
okay, so we post it into the assignment thing and we can do that ahead of time. But
You can
okay.
yes you can, yeah.
Yes,
All right.
but we will give you feedback. You'll have to go and look for
You're going
that
to get
feedback
feedback
from
from
that
us.
assignment.
Okay.
And sometimes, you know, I may say you need to go back and strengthen this section some.
Okay.
Okay? Or whatever.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good questions. Anybody else?
I do have another one. I went in earlier and saw a discussion and clicked on it and did it immediately. And I wasn't sure where I went to get it and how I can't find it. So was that probably on Blackboard? And
Let me
I
share my
just
screen and see if I
I
can
saw it and then
see if you can send me to that. Where now? Brooklyn?
well, I think it was maybe discussions. I'm not sure. It was in Dr. Stedman's class.
Okay, it's Dr. Stedman's. This discussion board, you notice I clicked right there and I've not looked at them.
Yes.
This is for you to introduce yourself like to your classmates. Okay?
Yes.
Everybody can see everything everybody's done in here. For the grade, you only get 1 point, big deal, but for the grade, you would need to go to your
Great book.
yeah, your grade book, which I don't have,
Yes,
but
you do. It's up there.
oh, I do. I'm sorry. Go to your grade book and right there's where you would submit it. Okay? And that's where I pick it up. Like I'm seeing this, you should have for me if you're in my class. You should have for me when you put your I would give you a little quick note back. Thank you received. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And same thing for your about myself. I'll give you a little feedback. I didn't give you a lot. Welcome to the class. I look forward to working with you or something like that. And so you have to go look for that feedback. Am I answering your question?
Yeah. Is the discussion board on both classes or just one, or is it connected?
You have discussion availability in both classes.
Yeah.
In your internship shell, at this point, that's how you would talk about me. You would talk about me under discussions.
Okay.
Let me go to I think this is my internship shell.
I
Nope,
think that's
wrong one.
I'm heading toward the truck. He never asked call and I can't call her.
Okay, this is my class's
Let's go
information.
to discussion, Dr. Revis. Hit discussion up there.
Yeah. There's where you introduce yourself. For some reason it's in there twice.
You can take that second one out. It's hidden anyway.
And maybe you can't see them because I've got them hidden. No, there's about myself. And there's academic. These, yeah, you should have them in your, those two things there. Okay. And see, I can look. I've got several who've done about myself. And I can see this is what my grade sheet looks like. I just go in and click, and then Jessica's opens up. And then I will give you, Ravonda hasn't done hers, so on and so forth. But you can see several of you need to do this for me. Does that help you, Brooklyn? Okay. All right. Anything else?
Okay, everybody good. Okay, we at least got you started.
If you need to reach me during the week, if you're in my class again, first reach out to me. I I would rather you just go to the Garden Web email and email me rather than going inside the course where you can email me, because it does pop up in my email, but I can't answer you there. Then I have to go to the course shell, pick it up, and go on. It's just easier for me. Dr. Stedman, do you have a preference? Okay.
Either way, it is either way is fine. But you're right. That is easier, much easier. Did you have a question? Dana, did you have a question? I can't hear you.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. I did have a question just because I do under this discussion and also the grade book where I would add on to the assignment. I don't want to sound like I'm like being redundant with it. But when I go to the next one for the internship, under discussion, I only have introduce yourself. So there's nowhere for, and even when I hit grade book, there is just like a little rectangle, not where I can click and add the AIA on it. So it looks.
Remember, we said you didn't have to do that.
You don't have
You
to do
only
that,
have to talk
guys.
about yourself.
Okay.
And EVA. That's the only thing you have to do.
And do EVA, your enrollment verification activity, in your internship shell, and just talk about introduce yourself. That's all you've got to do under discussion.
Okay.
All right, guys. We'll see you back next week at 7 p.m. Have a good rest of your week.
Bye, everybody.